Yo, 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 what's up, everybody? How's it going? This is Marcos Villegas. This is Fight Up TV, and welcome to the Fight Up TV live chat. Today is Monday, December 21st, the year 2020. And what's up, everybody? Glad for you guys to tune in. Hope you guys aren't too stressed over the holidays with your holiday shopping. I hope you guys got everything done and are staying safe and not too stressed out. Man, some big action over the weekend, man. Canelo Alvarez freaking dominating, just dominating. Callum Smith. I had him blowout, 12-0. I had him winning every single round in the fight, but I thought there was a few swing rounds in the fight. I could have given Callum Smith rounds 1 and 3 as the live chat is popping. I already see a ton of you guys going back and forth. Thank you so much. Do me a it's still the 5-time undisputed unified middleweight YouTube champion of the world, Marcos Fight of Villegas. Thanks for that, NJNP. Do me a big favor, guys. Go ahead and click the like button right now, right here, right now. Click that like button, please. And if you're new to the channel, what's up, man? I'm Marcos. I founded this little channel called Fight Hub 10 years ago. I think even more. 10 years ago. 10 years ago, man, this is your one stop for everything boxing. We got you covered on the daily. So please subscribe to the channel as well. And everybody, please share this stream right now. Get all your boxing bros or your boxing honeys up on this chat to talk just everything boxing. And so we can continue growing this live chat and growing the little community that we have going on right here. Dude, check this out. I got this shirt. This Roberto Duran shirt from Roots of Fight, man. It's a really cool shirt. Just wish it wasn't in gray, because of your couch, because I sweat like a mofo. Miguel, what's up, bro? What's up, Marcos? Keep up the good work as always. Best reporter for boxing. Thank you, bro. I appreciate that. Hands of stones, manos de piedras. So, bro, why everyone disliking? Because, you know, there's a lot of Canelo haters out there. That's why everyone's disliking, bro. And I saw this over the weekend as well, man. Some people just can't fathom that this little ginger man, little Mexican tank, Canelo Alvarez, is murking everybody and is pound for pound number one. And they'll bring up, you know, who has he fought? He fights old guys. He fights washed up guys. He's been protected. You know, the Clenbuterol, they'll you know, put up all sorts of excuses to not put to Canelo right now, either because they have their own personal biases that are unfounded, or they just don't like the guy for whatever reason. So, you know, that's one big thing that I've noticed. Gerardo Munguia Sanchez, what's up, bro? Appreciate you doing the super chat. If you guys want to donate, support, help out the channel, go ahead and use that super chat. I'll give you a personal shout out and read out your question. And Gerardo Munguia Sanchez says, Canelo es el rey libra por libra, number one pound for pound. Number one. Canelo was born ready. So let's get into it. I'm going to just read off as many of your guys' comments and much of your guys' chats. Going to get your feedback. First off, let me ask those people that are against this, okay? Because I have met a lot of resistance for calling Canelo Alvarez pound for pound number one. A ton of resistance, actually. What's up, Que pedo, wey? Hi, Yair. What's up? So for those of you guys who disagree, all right, disagree that Canelo is not pound for pound, what's your reason? Why don't you feel that Canelo is pound for pound number one? I just want to hear your guys' point of view. So I'll give you guys a chance to go ahead and make your comments and let me know why you feel Canelo is not pound for pound. So we can go ahead and I could, you know, counter that or give you, I guess, what a lot of people feel they think why Canelo is pound for pound. Let's see here. All right, comments are coming in. Let's see here. Some people are saying this fight was fixed. What do you think? Hell no. Are you kidding me, bro? Who's saying that? This is the first I've heard. People said that the Kovalev fight was fixed, which I thought it was a bunch of BS. But nah, I didn't hear that this Callum fight was fixed. Nah, dude, he put a whooping on Callum. Charlo Duck De La Hoya offered Cashman. Canelo's the best. Canelo got to fight Charlo or Benavidez or Andrade. Rick Timms III. So let me tell you this. So whether we like it or not, whether Sometimes the rankings are embellished. Some people sometimes are rated higher than they should be. For instance, a perfect example. The WBC has Anvi Yildirim as number one super middleweight in the world. Get the out of here. Like that guy, like I respect him, I respect his trainer, but that guy has done nothing to warrant that ranking. So that proves my point with these rankings sometimes don't mean ish. Just because you're ranked number one doesn't necessarily mean you're the number one guy in the division. In this case, it could be true. Callum was ranked number one. Canelo beat the number one ranked fighter in the division, according to Ring. Ring is seen as the most unobjective, unbiased rankings, but a lot of people will counter that and be like, well, no, that's not true, Marcos. They're owned by Oscar De La Hoya. They're always going to put De La Hoya guys. For the most part, they've been consistent with the rankings, and they've been really objective and non-biased. He's number one according to their rankings, but a lot of people would put Charlo, not Charlo, Benavidez, Caleb Plant, who's a world champion. Benavidez was a world champion. Canelo has his old belt now, above Callum Smith. Certainly, that's my opinion, that I think Caleb Plant, David Benavidez are the top guys at super middleweights. And I got a bunch of ish from the English fans when I tweeted that, man. They came out and attacked me over that, which, damn, you guys ride for your boy till the end, man. So, I admire that. That's for sure. The UK fans, they're passionate about their sports. They're passionate about their sports figures. So they really went at me. But, at the end of the day, I think if it would have been Caleb Plant in there against Canelo or David Benavidez there in there against Canelo, they would have won more rounds. And they would have been way more competitive than Callum Smith. All right, let's get to these. Let's see here. Let's go. Yeah, I am looking at the chat, Diversified. What up? Okay, Abraham, I don't think he's pound for pound because there are some good fighters who deserve a fight. Then, without a doubt, Canelo will be pound for pound the greatest. I don't think he's pound for pound because there are some good fighters who deserve a fight. Then, without a doubt. So okay, what fighters do you want him to face? And Duran Dice 84, I'll get to your question right now, bro. Canelo already fought the number 160. Whether he was in his prime or not, Golovkin was rated number one at middleweight. He went and he I didn't think he won the first fight. It was a draw. Okay. I didn't think he won the second fight. Canelo won. On paper, officially, the record books, history is going to show that Canelo beat Golovkin one time. The number one guy at 160 pounds. He beat the number one guy at 168 pounds, which was Callum Smith. He went up to light heavyweight and beat one of their champions who was still a dangerous guy and honestly was a more dangerous opponent than Callum Smith and Sergey Kovalev, and knocked out a bigger freaking dude as well. That's three weight classes that he's either beaten the number one guy or beaten a world champion in that division. So, all right, super middleweight, Duran Dice 84, Duran Dice, thank you for that, bro, using the super chat. Super middleweight doesn't have all the smoke. Middleweight does. Triple G, Charlo, Andre, Munguia, Callum Smith wasn't that kind of a live dog. Agree and disagree. Middleweight certainly has a ton of guys in that division, and honestly, like, Golovkin and Charlo is the fight that we've been wanting to see for a long time, even though more people feel that they like the Charlo fight more than the Golovkin fight because they've seen the Golovkin fight 2 times. I asked this question over Twitter, like, why do people not want the third Golovkin fight anymore? Like, what happened? Why did everyone sour out on a third Golovkin fight? And I got a lot of responses. I got a lot of people that said, we've already seen it. Golovkin is on the downside. That he's going to do a lot worse in a fight with Canelo as well, and that he's not the same killer that he was before when he faced Canelo the first time, which is why they prefer to see more variety, different fights for Canelo. I would love to see a Golovkin fight still because I think they have unfinished business. There hasn't been a decisive winner in that fight between those two. Charlo, of course, I would love that fight, but look, at super middleweight, you got a lot of people too. You got, David Benavidez, which is going to be a huge fight. That fight's going to happen. It's going to be a huge fight. Watch. You got Caleb Plant. That's a tremendous fight. Regardless of how many boxing fans disregard Caleb Plant because of who he has fought, To me, he gives Canelo a lot of trouble because of his style. You got Chris Eubank Jr., who could fight at 160 and 168. You got a lot of people there. Those are three big names right there that Canelo could fight as well. Munguia, I don't really like that matchup, to be honest. I think, Munguia gets hit too much for my liking, to be honest. Andrade, that's a great fight. That's a good fight. Thing is, no one's going to be interested in that fight. Only the hardcore of the hardcore will be interested in that fight with Andrade, even though it's a good fight and Andrade could win that fight because he has a really bad style for Canelo. But that fight does no business. And, got to understand, when these guys get to this level, they want big fights that get them up, big fights that capture the imagination of the people and the imagination of the casual sports fan. They're in it for glory. They're in it to go into an arena that has 120,000 people. That's part of the reason why they're doing it, and they're doing it to make a ton of freaking money. That's why they're called prize fighters. They're not going in there just to get smacked around for a couple bucks. They're in there to make a ton of money. Let's see here. Smith looked way overrated. Charlo be struggling with Europeans. Kobrov, FOH. One way I see of those guys like Charlo Benavidez fight Canelo is if they fight Plant or BJ Saunders. There's another guy, BJ Saunders, at 168 pounds, and take one of their belts at 168. Canelo will fight them. Canelo drops Charlo like he did Kirkland. Canelo is in his prime right now. Nobody can beat him. Crawford's resume is trash. Let's see here. Why didn't Canelo defend his 160 WBC belt? Because it wasn't a 160-pound fight. It was a 168-pound fight. Fly, let's see, bro, you weren't even, dang, wow, okay, I just got a big dump of chat comments. Let me scroll up a little bit. Let's see here. Let me get to this guy, because some of these people be saying some nonsense here. One guy thinks Crawford is trash. Bro, Canelo will kill Triple G now. Do you think those fights were bought? Which fights? I don't think this fight over the weekend was bought. No, not at all. But are you referring to other fights? I don't know. What are you referring to? Laura didn't beat Canelo, but Laura was fast as F. I was there at that fight live. I felt Canelo won, but I felt that Laura gave away the fight. If Laura just would have threw just a little bit more punches, he would have won the fight. It was his fight to win, and Laura has only himself to blame because of his punch output, his punch activity for not winning that fight. Callum Smith got a gift decision in his last fight. Now I wonder Canelo chose to fight him. Some people are still bringing up Canelo's little result with the drug test. Canelo must face Charlo, Andrade, Benavidez, Plant, or Beterbiev. Beterbiev ain't going to happen, bro. I don't expect Canelo to fight at 175 pounds anymore. And I think Eddie, his trainer, Eddie Reynoso, I'd even mentioned too that was like a one and done for them at that weight, that they were not going to fight at that weight anymore. But for 160 and 168, yes, I agree. I would love to see Canelo face a Charlo, an Andrade, a Benavidez, or a Plant. Out of all those guys, I think the biggest fight, the most explosive fight, the more exciting fight is probably either Charlo or Benavidez, just because of their styles. Both guys would come to Canelo. So Dante's cheeseburger name. Wow, that's a funny. What do you got against my guy Dante, bro? Dante's a good dude. He says Charlo is a cab driver. Preacher David, Canelo versus Charlo, but their legacy to sleep once and for all. Eubanks Jr., LOL. Canelo versus Andre. Gilbert A is not a fan of Eubanks, calls him trash. Charlo lost to Kobrov. I was there at that fight, and I issue not. I felt that Kobrov won the fight. I thought Kobrov won the fight, and I thought Jermell beat Harrison, and I thought that the decision should have been flipped over that night, because to me, I had Kobrov winning that fight. Charlo, Cookie Monster, what's up? Charlo is all hype. He's the next James Kirkland. Only decent win Charlo got is Derevyanchenko. I disagree, man. Charlo's not all hype. Charlo's legit. He's a top competitor. He's an elite guy. You don't sleep fools like that if you're not good. And Derevyanchenko's a very, very good guy. He had a very, very close fight with Daniel Jacobs. Daniel Jacobs still one of the top guys in boxing. A lot of people felt he beat Gennady Golovkin. Gennady Golovkin has two belts at 160 pounds, still rated very, very highly. believe he's still on the pound for pound list too, even though he's not the top 5 anymore. He's the top 10. But no, I disagree with that. I think Canelo and Charlo is an excellent fight, and Charlo's not what people. Yeah, I understand he doesn't have maybe the names that a Canelo has, but you also got to understand too the structure of boxing. They're keeping it all within the PBC system, and in PBC, they don't have big name 160 pounders. He just got his first name in Derevyanchenko, which was a solid, good win against a very, very highly regarded fighter in Derevyanchenko. So let's see how it all shakes out. Let's see how it all shakes out. Lara irrelevant now. Canelo got that last laugh. F him. Damn. The hate is real for Lara. Who did Callum Smith beat? So I'm going to get into this too, okay? Because I had a lot of people tweet me over my comments about saying that I felt, not I felt, because, well, the way I worded my tweet was I said many people feel that they're better. I think both guys are better than Callum Smith. I'll be honest. That is my opinion, just based on the eye test. A lot of people would be like, "Well, who the hell is Caleb Plant beat? Who the hell is David Benavidez beat?" I'm just going from what I've seen in the fights, okay? And people, brought up, well, Callum won the World Boxing Super Series. Who was in that tournament, though? Honestly, who was in that tournament? Those guys, they weren't elite, to be honest. Callum fought this guy from a Scandinavian country called Skogland, who was undefeated. Yeah, he was undefeated coming in the tournament, but if you look at that guy's record, he had fought nobody. He had fought a bunch of guys that had terrible records. So that wasn't a highly regarded opponent. Then he went against George Groves, who had already been knocked out by Carl Froch in front of 80,000 in Wembley Stadium. Just had to remind you guys that Carl Froch knocked him out in front of 80,000 in Wembley Stadium. He was already, at the tail end of his career by that time. So how much, how can you gauge that, to be honest? And then, John Ryder, by many people's accounts, felt that he should have gotten the decision against Callum Smith. And when I saw that John Ryder fight, John Ryder had a very similar build to Canelo. Short, stocky, powerful, pushed Callum Smith back. I saw that fight, okay? I saw it again when I was doing my research for this Canelo-Callum Smith fight. Anthony Jones, thank you so much. You're pretty unbiased. Appreciate it. I appreciate you for that donation. Everybody, please donate to the Super Chat if you see fit. Support this. Help us keep growing here on the Fight Up, this community, this discussion every Monday we have at 5:35. Follow us on social media as well, at Fight Up TV, on Instagrams and on Twitter. And if you want, give me a follow on Twitter as well, at Hey, it's Marcos V. So watching that John Ryder fight, I was doing research for this Canelo fight, and I just thought, geez, if this dude allows Canelo to back him up like this, Canelo's going to pick him apart, just put a beating on him. You can't allow a guy like Canelo, especially when you're the bigger guy, to push you back and allow you to fight off the ropes, because that's Canelo's bread and butter. Canelo's been, I understand, lately he's been more slick, more defensive. But at the end of the day, Canelo's foundation is working the body and working with an opponent against the ropes, man. He'll eat you apart in that position. And that's what Callum allowed him to do in this fight. The power never bothered Canelo in there, or it never made him second guess him coming forward or him throwing a punch. A lot of times fighters will say, I got to get my respect in there. And for people who aren't too familiar with that term or what that means, what it means is you got to get the other guy to respect your power, so he's not just coming at you second guessing himself, coming at you and not respecting what you're going to throw back at him. That's what that means. If you want to get your respect with somebody, you show them right away, like, hey, this is my power, respect it. Because if you come in here reckless, I'm going to put you on your butt. I'm going to put you on your ass. So Canelo never had that respect for his power. He just was walking towards Callum the whole entire night. And man, he put a beating on him. Let's get to some more of your guys' comments here. So Luke Chain, what's up, bro? Thank you. Canelo's ducking Thanos. Domination, good point on Lomachenko. Let's see here. Let me get to domination. Where you at? Where's dominations? Here we go. Domination 5281. Let's see what's up, bro. And I'll get to that super chat that just happened right now. Canelo could beat everyone, and they'd still say he hasn't fought anyone. Before a few months ago, the number one pound for pound, in quotations, was 15 fights in Lomachenko, and the next guy, Crawford, hasn't really fought any prime names. Good point. Good point. Thing is, with Lomachenko, fastest to win a world title, fastest to win world titles in 3 divisions. And you could just tell by, what he had displayed, making number ones in his divisions quit, Ringendow quit, the other guy, Sosa, quit. He was just mentally breaking him down. So, you bring up a point, but I feel those other things, outweighed that. Guys that fight 3 fights in aren't winning world titles. Guys that are, 13, 14 fights in aren't 3 division world champions. So that's why it was merited, I feel, for Lomachenko. Terrence, true. Terrence is missing that name opponent. He would have already had those name opponents in Thurman, Porter, Garcia if he wasn't with Top Rank, if boxing wasn't structured the way he was. So I think, there's so much respect there for Crawford and his skills and what he's shown in there. We have so much regard, and we see how good he is. That's why we place him there at the top of the pound for pound, regardless of the guys that he's fought. We know that this guy's good. We know that if this guy were to fight a Thurman, Crawford would be the favorite. If this guy were to fight a Porter, Crawford would be the favorite. If this guy were to fight a Danny Garcia, Crawford would be the favorite. He would be the favorite with everybody at welterweight except maybe minus Errol Spence, which that would probably be 50-50. That's why he gets the respect and the recognition. Dude has skills. Yes, he's missing the resume. He's missing the depth. It's not his fault, though. It's because the structure of boxing. But we have so much high regard for his skills. That's why he's up there as well. Jerry Royster, what's up, bro? What's up, Jerry? Thank you for that donation, bro. Everybody, I appreciate that is donating to the super chat. Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Everybody, let's get some more likes. Let's get to 100 likes over here. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, man, please subscribe to the channel. Share this chat as well with everybody. Help us get to 100,000. We're already at 100,000 subscribers. Help us get to 1 million subscribers and help us keep growing. Man, I never thought in a million years I'd get to, it's funny, 1 million years. I'd get to 1 million subscribers, man. It's been a crazy freaking journey, dude. Man, a lot of drama happened to get to this point, to be honest, dude. I could probably write like a short little mini book about just, dude, this whole scene with the YouTubers and boxing, it's all drama, bro. Everybody's beefing with everybody. People backstab each other. It's all about greed and ego with a lot of people. I tend to think I'm like one of the only normal ones, but man, we're almost there, guys. We're almost there. One more like for 100 likes. And Jerry, I'm going to get to your question right now. One more like. Let's go. One more like. Let's get to 100 likes. Let's get to 100 likes. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, Renee, there's a lot of drama. Boom, 100 likes. There we go. Let's get to 125 likes now. Jerry Royster, what's up, bro? The Royster's in the house, brother. Okay. Charlo or Plant would give him a run. Plant would get outpowered. Spence could take him a weight class down, but Spence loses to Crawford. Okay. So Charlo and Plant would give, I think he's saying Canelo a run for their money. I agree. Very good fights. Very competitive fights. I think a harder fight for Canelo would be Caleb Plant, because Caleb, if you ever meet Caleb Plant in person, the dude's actually a really solid guy. Like, you look at him and you're like, oh, damn, he's solid. He's built. So he's a strong freaking guy. The other thing is Caleb Plant's movement. I think that would give Canelo a lot of problems in that fight. Renee, Marcos, you're right. In any field where one is successful, there's a drama. Pablo, what's up? Canelo I was born ready. Okay. Spence could take him a weight class down. Are you referring to Spence fighting Canelo at 160? I think that's what you're referring to. That's what Errol Spence wants. I asked Canelo about that. Canelo said that he would move down to 160 because that's a big fight to fight Spence. I have a feeling, though, he's going to regret saying that, and they're going to try to use that against him because Canelo, it's going to get harder for him to drop down to 160. He's going to start building out more, a little bit more. Dude is solid, dude. Did you see this dude's abs on Saturday? Jesus, man, that guy is freaking solid, dude. Built out ginger for sure. But Spence loses to Crawford. A lot of people would agree with you, bro. A lot of people would disagree. A lot of people would think good big man beats a good little man. What's up? What's up, Tino? What's up, bro? They'd say a good big man beats a good little man. They'd say that Errol Spence would outwork Terrence Crawford, that he'd keep him at bay with his jab, and he would outwork him. So, there's a pro and con to that. Obviously, a lot of people feel that Crawford has more tricks in the bag. Crawford has a crazy reach, guys. This guy's reach is ridiculous. And his ability to switch stances just confounds people. That's a nightmare. Let me tell you, it's a nightmare to prepare for. It's already a handful for preparing for Crawford if he's fighting southpaw. Now imagine if you prepare for Crawford, he's going to switch it on me and he's going to go orthodox. Freaking nightmare. But the only thing is he might be undersized in that Spence fight. So it's going to be tricky. It's going to be tricky. I've seen Spence have trouble with counterpunchers in the past. So that's a big, big thing for Terrence Crawford in a potential fight with Errol Spence. I just hope it happens. But I wouldn't be surprised if we see an Errol Spence fight against Canelo first, to be honest. Let's see here, though. Henry Martinez, man, thank you so much for the super chat. You guys, appreciate it. We've got a lot of super chats today, so really appreciate the support, guys. Keep on using the super chat if you want to personalize shout-outs as well, and you keep supporting the channel. 134 likes. Let's go ahead and get to 150. Thanks, Tino. I appreciate that, bro. Let's get to 150 likes. Henry Martinez, man, he's always using the super chat. Henry, dude, thank you so much, man. I appreciate you tuning in just about every time, every Monday at 5:35. When we have these super chats, it means a lot to me. Thank you so much for supporting. Here we go. Hey, Marcos, do you think Canelo can beat Fedor Chudinov? Bro, I haven't even heard of a Fedor Chudinov. Who the hell is Fedor Chudinov? I've never heard of this guy. Henry, let me know who Fedor Chudinov is. I don't know who that guy is. I apologize. I'm sorry. And I'm sorry if this is a little too loud for you guys. Who the hell is Fedor Chudinov? Let me know who that is, bro. But do you think Canelo can beat Caleb Plant and Billy Joe Saunders to unify all the titles at 168 pounds? I truly believe he can. Okay, like I mentioned, I don't know who Fedor is. Fedor's the GOAT in MMA. Tino, thank you so much, bro. I appreciate that. Tino with a big old super chat donation here, $20 for Constantino. He does good work, man. Check him out too, his channel. Tino used to work for us over here at Fight Hub, helped us grow a lot over the years. So, and he's a good friend of mine. So go ahead and check out his channel as well, Little Giant Boxing. I think Canelo can beat Caleb Plant, and I think Canelo can beat Billy Joe Saunders. But on the flip, I also think those guys can beat Canelo. I think Billy Joe, it's a little bit more difficult just because I don't like how inactive Billy Joe has been against top-tier competition. But he does have the style to beat Canelo Alvarez. That's for sure. It's a tricky southpaw defensive style that he possesses there. And he's pretty quick-footed as well. He's pretty quick on going around the ring, though you would expect Canelo to cut off the ring. Now, Caleb Plant, the reason why I like Caleb Plant more than Billy Joe Saunders in that fight is because Caleb Plant is a natural 168-pounder. He's a big freaking dude that I think has more natural gifted abilities than a Billy Joe Saunders. He's naturally, I think, better defensively, and also as well, he's a lot more powerful than Billy Joe Saunders. And I just think overall, dude, for me, it's just he passes the eye test for me. I think he's possesses just a lot of things that Canelo hasn't really seen all put together in one guy that's physically bigger than him. But those are amazing matchups for sure. Richard Perez, what's up? Or Ricardo Perez, question. When are you going to learn fluent Spanish for your interviews? Come on, bro. Me lo haces difícil, güey. I try. Okay, I try. It's easier for editing purposes to ask a question in English, have them respond in Spanish, and then have a translator say that. It's just quicker. It's less time. But bro, I'm trying, dog. I'm trying. I'm trying to perfect my Spanish. I'm learning, bros. I'm learning. So it'll eventually. But if I were to talk to you in Spanish and regular, you'd be like, "What the heck? This guy's pretty fluent." It's just there's a lot of boxing words that I never heard growing up in my household being used, so I never learned those words. So like sometimes I'll get like a brain fart when I'm translating on the fly from English to Spanish, because there's a lot of those words I had never heard before. But if me and you, Inglés sin barreras, way, yes, I know, bro. I know Rosetta Stone. Also, just talking to you and fucking Jose Luis, and I'll learn my Spanish. But I'm fluent. I'm fluent. It might be Pocho Spanish, but I'm fluent. I'm a lot more fluent than a lot of these other guys. That's for sure. Let's see here. GGG 1-0. Canelo has fought everyone. Come on, Kevin. Yeah, Kevin. Kevin Callister, where are you at? Where's Kevin's comment? Let's see here. David Hyde. Canelo. He thinks Canelo's a cheat. Where's Kevin? Kev. I think this is it. Kev Will. Canelo never fought the best except for Floyd, and he failed that test badly. Kev, bro. Come on, dog. Come on, bro. JT. Marcos, shut up. You can't speak Spanish fluently. Vete la. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Kev, bro, you got to understand. Yuma, Arizona, what's up? Yuma, Arizona in the house. Kev, my man, you got to understand something. We all know that when Canelo fought Floyd, Canelo was 21. Super green still, okay? Super green. Canelo's even admitted it in interviews that he took that fight way too early. After the fight, I remember Schaefer saying that to us after the fight, Oscar saying that to us, everybody saying that. You know what? We took this fight way too early. Canelo fighting Mayweather at 21. It's funny. So I remember I ran into one of Floyd's assistant at the time, David Levy. And I didn't know that this information had gotten relayed to Floyd. But he had asked me, like, hey, have you heard who Canelo's using for sparring for Floyd? I'm like, nah, not really. But I know they have Shane Mosley Jr. in camp as one of their sparring. He's like, oh, okay. And then during Floyd's media day, he brought that up. Oh, yeah, Canelo's using Shane Mosley Jr. for sparring, da-da-da-da. It shows, how inexperienced he is. And I was just like, this dude told Floyd that he has Shane Mosley Jr. in his training. But that goes to show you, like, the inexperience there of choosing someone like a Shane Mosley Jr. to help sparring for that fight. And they knew what they were doing, Floyd and the team, taking Canelo at that time. But you can't blame Canelo. You're not going to pass up an opportunity to fight Floyd Mayweather. That's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. That's a once-in-a-lifetime payday. That's a once-in-a-lifetime event. That's still one of the most craziest events that I've covered and been to. That weigh-in was freaking nuts. And that's one of the weigh-ins that vividly still stays with me to this day. They had like this little bleacher stand in the middle of the MGM. They opened up the whole MGM. And that was funny. That's a funny thing too, because that was Danny Garcia against Lucas Matisse. And Danny Garcia's dad, Angel Garcia, came out to Rich Homie Quan, and he was dancing. And we were all freaking laughing hilariously because Angel Garcia was getting lit, dude. He was just dancing, making a fool out of himself. And it was hilarious. And I always remember that because they zoomed in on his face and he's like, like all dancing. But the atmosphere in the arena for just the weigh-in was nuts. And then the fight, of course, was crazy. It was the same level of a Marquez Pacquiao 4, where you knew something crazy was going to happen in that fight. Let's see here. So, yeah, to answer your question, Kevin, come on, bro. He was young. He wasn't ready for that. He wasn't ready for that. But if you were to face Floyd again, honestly, it would be a closer fight, but just stylistically, he's at a disadvantage. I think Floyd still beats him, but it's probably a lot closer now than it was before. Canelo had over 40 pro fights when he fought Floyd. Yeah, dude, but you got to understand, a lot of these guys that Canelo had fought up to that point were like resume builders out in Mexico, dude. The kid started fighting when he was like 15 in Mexico. He's fighting against, taqueros, up in there. So, you have to disregard some of those guys. He didn't have a long, lengthy amateur career like Floyd did. Floyd had a long and storied amateur career where he went to the Olympics and got cheated and won a bronze medal. Canelo learned everything on the job. They threw him in there at 15 and he started fighting grown men. That's why I have a lot of respect for Canelo. And I think that a lot more people should have a lot more respect for him. And this is why I always counter with this. When people say, oh, Canelo's ducking. Canelo's scared to fight this guy. Canelo's scared to fight so-and-so. Canelo's scared to fight this and that, this. Bro, you think a guy who started fighting grown-ass men at 15 is scared to fight people when his job, the place that he feels most comfortable out of all places, most comfortable, more at peace, more at zen, is inside the ring with a pair of gloves on. That's his zen. That's his moment of clarity. That's the most comfortable place for a lot of his life to be in. You think he's scared to go one-on-one with another boxer? No, not at all. None of these boxers, I feel, a majority of boxers are not scared to fight other boxers. This is what they do. And I always use this example. You think a stripper is scared to strip? Nah. Stripper strips. That's her hustle. Stripper ain't gonna be scared to jump on that pole. You show a stripper pole, they're gonna show out. These fighters aren't scared to fight fighters. What they want, though, is for their time to be worthwhile, because at the end of the day, anything can happen in the ring, man. And they do leave a part of themselves inside the ring when they go in there. Each and every fight takes a little bit away from each and every one of these fighters, a little bit away from them. Can't blame them for wanting as much money as they possibly can get, because literally that could be their last fight. And if I was in that position, and any of you guys were in that position, you'd want to get as much money as you can for every fight. I saw a super chat. It went away. What was that? Send that super chat back again. I'll answer that question, dog. Sorry about that. I am Monolith. He's not afraid of anyone. Miguel Delgado, what's up, bro? Thoughts on Garcia versus Luke Campbell? Speaking of Luke, bros, did you see The Mandalorian? Oh, my Jesus. Did you guys see The Mandalorian? Speaking of Luke, holy crap. Mandalorian last Thursday almost made me cry. I was screaming at the top of my lungs at like 12:45 at night. So if you guys saw The Mandalorian, jeez. All right, back to Ryan Garcia versus Luke Campbell. I'll answer that question. This show's amazing. Thank you. Are you drinking beer? No, I'm drinking LaCroix. It's a good fight. Yeah, sparkling water. Luke Campbell has a tough fight ahead of him, but so does Ryan. But I think Ryan's speed is a big factor in this fight. Ryan's very explosive. And the thing with being a southpaw, southpaws get hit a lot with hooks. And what's Ryan's money punch? The hook. You know, so he's already at a disadvantage watching Mando again. Domination. That's so good, man. I saw that ending scene. Literally, I've seen that ending scene like 50 times already. Literally. I spent like almost all my day Friday looking at the reactions, seeing if anybody had the same reaction that I had. And the majority of people had the same reaction that I had for that ending for The Mandalorian. You heard it here from me. R2-D2 saved Grogu from the Jedi Temple. I know we're on a tangent here, but I'm a big Star Wars fan. I love anything Star Wars. Grogu, R2 got smuggled in. R2 smuggled in Grogu at the Jedi Temple. So I'll get back to Ryan Garcia versus Luke Campbell. It's a 50-50 fight. Luke Campbell's long. He's rangy. He's sturdy. Aguanta. He's been in there against the best with Linares and Vasily Lomachenko. Bro, Yair, you got to, dude, it came out on Thursday, dog. It's Monday already. Come on, bro. Get on the ball. Watch it already. Andy Ruiz. Wait, Andy Ruiz in here? Hold on. Where's Andy Ruiz? Where's the comment from Andy Ruiz? Where you at, Andy Ruiz? Gamebred, what's up? Andy Ruiz Jr. All right, if this is the real Andy Ruiz, what's up, Andy? I miss you, bro. Let me go ahead and get an interview, dog. It's been a long time since I've talked to you. Hope you've been well. Hope you've been good. Hope you're training and doing well. Hope the family's good, and I wish you happy holidays and a Merry Christmas, bro. So Ryan and Luke. Ryan should win this fight. He should win this fight, but it won't be easy, and it shouldn't be easy. If Ryan blows out Luke Campbell, I'm going to be very, very impressed. And I think that's the one question we've all had about Ryan is what happens when he faces a legit top-level guy, and does he have a chin? If Ryan Garcia takes some monster punches from Luke Campbell, and Luke Campbell takes him through the grinder, and he comes out of this fairly dominant and fairly like, okay, the sky's the limits on Ryan Garcia. I'm telling you right now, Ryan Garcia has a chin and gets through this guy. He's going to be one of the top guys in boxing because the sky is the limit for this kid. And he has everything you want in a fighter. Yeah, he gets a lot of hate. I think a lot of it is unwarranted. I think he gets a lot of hate because he's a good-looking kid. Oscar got it too. Canelo gets it too. He's a pretty boy. Pretty boys get hated on, especially in boxing, because we want our boxers to be mean, rugged, just nasty in there. And that's kind of the opposite of what we expect our fighters to be. But it's a 50-50 fight. I give Ryan the slight edge just because of the speed. And though, man, it's going to be a tough fight. Ricardo Perez, what's up, man? Thank you for the super chat. Everybody, thank you so much for the super chats we've gotten so far. Let's get to 175 likes, please. Let's get some more likes up there. Ricardo Perez. Charlo needs to beat Triple G, Triple Yi. Charlo needs to beat Triple Yi or Jacobs to earn Canelo. Hey, I'm down with that. I'm down with that. Triple Yi has 2 belts. Charlo has one of the other belts. Why not go to that fight? You know, get a. If he goes and he fights Golovkin and he beats Golovkin, that there's going to be so much pressure to make the Canelo fight because he has 3 of the 2 belts that it'll put a lot of pressure on him. Even though Canelo said he's campaigning at 168 pounds now, but we'll see. We'll see. But no, I wouldn't mind seeing that. Charlo and Jacobs have a lot of beef. I forget what fight they were at, but I think it was Porter and Thurman that Jacobs and Charlo had a confrontation in the back. I was there, and they had been going back and forth on Twitter for a bit. And Jacobs, said hi to Charlo, and they had their words. And I don't know what happened. They said they were supposed to fight, and it hasn't happened yet. So I'd love to see that fight. Henry. Hey, everybody, let's give an applause to Henry, man. Henry's donated $10 already to the super chat, $10 to this live chat. Henry, you're an MVP. Like I mentioned, you're here every Monday at 5:35, giving you guys a plug here. Remember, every Monday, 5:35 live chat. Every Monday, 5:35 live chat here on Fight Hub. Henry Martinez. Let's go, bro. Thank you. And let's get 2 more likes, too. 2 more likes to get 175 likes. Henry Martinez asks, what was the first ever boxing event you ever watched? And the first ever boxing event you covered with Fight Hub? Thoughts on your boxing history? The first ever boxing event I covered was Chris Arreola versus Thomas Adamek. That was the first fight I was ever credentialed for. And it was funny because a lot of Polish people came to that fight. Dude, Polish people rep for their fighters. They have a very rabid fan base, dude. They really, really ride with their guys, the Polish fans. But I remember I was sitting in one of the last rows, and there was this Polish rider behind me. And when Chris Arreola came in, I remember him, the bell rings for round number 1, and this dude was so annoying because he kept saying this thing, and he kept saying, hit that fat burrito, hit that fat burrito, hit that guy, hit that fat burrito, the whole time to Chris Arreola. Warranted, at that time, Chris did look like a fat burrito, but I just felt like, damn, these are the people that are credentialed to a boxing fight? What the? I had just gotten done with journalism school, and I'm like, that's a big no-no. You're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to be a press member yelling at, the guy calling him a fat burrito. That was my first event that I covered. Arreola would lose that fight to Adamek, I believe, and then Adamek would end up losing. I think he fought a Klitschko. He fought a heavyweight. I forget who it was. You guys might know better than me. but he went and lost that. First ever boxing event I ever watched. Oh man, that's a tough one. I think because my memory gets blurry. I have a bad memory, guys. I have a really bad memory. But I have vivid memories of like Chavez fighting Camacho, Chavez fighting De La Hoya, Chavez fighting Whitaker. So those are my earliest memories that I can remember. I remember, we would all huddle at my neighbor's house because my neighbor was a big Chavez fan, and I just remember them like saying words I can't say because now they'd be deemed derogatory and politically incorrect towards Camacho about like hitting him and calling him all sorts of names. But those were the earliest memories that I had. Yeah, F that guy, Adamic. Hold on. Oh, man, this chat's going too quick. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Yeah, F that guy. Adamic was close fighting first right after Vitali. Yeah, there you go. He fought Vitali. Berlanga hasn't fought anybody. Raw power, taxi drivers. He hasn't fought anybody, but the dude does have raw power. So, like he's still growing. He's only 15 fights in. He's going to end up fighting guys eventually, but you can't deny a guy gets 16 knockouts in a first round knockouts in a row. Like, dude, that's something not normal. Like he has special power. Chris Nipple Areola. Nando 84. El de Jalisco sigue rifando. La duela aunque le duele. Don't matter who's next. Canelo got this. I was born ready. There we go. Canelo gets smoked like Smith. Against who, bro? Spence is the one fighting real names. He's the best. Spence fights little guys. Well, they're all 147, bro. Like, he's in the weight class. It's not his fault. He's bigger than these guys. He's able to cut weight. Shoot. When I wrestled, I came down. Like, I would come down to like 125. Everybody else was bigger than me. I was a little guy, but I was quicker than everybody, and I had more technique. So, it's if you can make the weight, can't knock the guy. He made the weight. He's allowed to compete in that weight division. Callum Smith had the absolute dumbest strategy for Canelo. Ooh, this guy's not a fan of Canelo. He's a Euro bum, no buzz for this. M-Stack, stacking the hate towards Canelo. But he is right on one thing. That was a terrible strategy on Callum's part. Very bad. Don't fight Canelo walking back. You push Canelo forward. You're the bigger guy, have a longer reach. Pop that jab, double jab, triple jab. Feint, jab to the body, jab to the top, double it up, side to side, move, push him, stab to the body, stab to the body. You know who fights like that? Caleb Plant. That's why I think Caleb Plant gives Canelo a hard fight. So does David Benavidez. David Benavidez gives Canelo a tough fight too. David's going to come forward. He's going to come at Canelo, throw freaking E-Honda punches all over the place against Canelo. Triple Yi beat Canelo twice, 100. Canelo literally lost not by a round. He lost by many rounds. The first, and he lost by 2 rounds the second. I've seen them many times. I was there live for both fights. The first fight, I felt definitely Golovkin should have won the fight. Many people feel this and share this. It was a draw. It is what it is. Second fight, I was there live. I thought it was a draw. Me personally, I had it 6-6. But because Canelo was the guy moving forward and landing power punches, I could see why the judges gave him that. So, it is what it is. Anzwar the Great. What up, bro? What's going on? Okay, I don't know what these acronyms mean. You're where these DCAFs get all these BS takes from. Charlo doesn't have to prove himself. Charlo Benavidez wiped the floor with him. Okay, Anzwar the Great. Who are you? First off, what's DCAFs? What does that mean, bro? All these BS takes from. Where these BS. Okay, so he's saying this is where all these BS takes are from. I don't know. Let's debate Anzwar the Great because Anzwar is not sounding too great right now. His excuses are sounding kind of lame. Let's go, Anzwar. Come on, bro. Come on. Charlo doesn't have to prove himself. Why not? So everybody else has to prove themselves? Canelo has to prove himself time and time again, but not Charlo? Come on, bro. Everyone else has to prove themselves? Dumb casual fans? I don't know, bro. You're kind of making a little assumption there that Charlo doesn't have to prove himself, but everybody else has to prove themselves, right? You got to prove yourself to win a title, don't you? You got to prove yourself to go up in the rankings, don't you, dog? Right? Isn't why everybody says Canelo can't be number one right now because he hasn't proved himself yet? Canelo's proved himself. Charlo doesn't have to prove himself. He has to prove himself a lot more than Canelo has, that's for sure. Charlo Benavidez wiped the floor with Canelo. It remains to be seen. It remains to be seen, bro. He deserves the fight. Already, he has the title. He's saying that Charlo deserves the Canelo fight. True. That's true. He does deserve the Canelo fight. But life ain't fair, bro. Life ain't fair. Charlo's not in a position to demand. Canelo's the king, bro. Pound for pound, and he's the moneymaker. Canelo manda. That's how you say in Spanish. He's the one that wheels and deals. He decides who he wants to fight, when he wants to fight. Agree with it or not, but Canelo has earned that right the hard way by knocking off all these guys and winning and winning and winning and winning and winning. So, you know, by all intents and purposes, it's good to be the king. JAS, what's up, bro? Canelo arguably lost to a Triple Yi twice. Ryder beat Callum Smith. Beterbiev would beat Canelo. Beterbiev would beat Canelo. Beterbiev's a beast. Better beast. Man, that fight won't happen, though, to be honest. Beterbiev's just too big. It's too big, and when they took on Sergey, it was a very calculated risk. We got another chat right here, Orlando. I'll get to your question right now, too, Orlando. I'm getting to Jazz's question now. It was calculated with Kovalev, even though when they went into that Kovalev fight, Kovalev just had a hard fight with Yard. And look, Yard was a tough freaking game guy, man. Yard was a young guy, hungry, undefeated, in his prime, and he went after Kovalev. That was a tough fight for Kovalev. Kovalev went life and death with that guy, and he didn't end up winning. So it's not like Kovalev had been fighting like whatever fights with people, you know. He fought Alvarez, lost to Alvarez, and then fought Alvarez. He fought the Colombian Alvarez. He lost, and then he won. Someone saying exactly calculated risk. Okay, yeah. A lot of these fights are calculated risk, bro. Come on, dog. It's not the UFC. That's just kind of how boxing is, you know. Calculated risk. No one else is moving up 2 weight classes to fight these guys, are they? Answar? Who else is doing what Canelo's doing, bro? Who else is moving from 160, 168, 175 and fighting the guys that are belt holders? Who else is doing that? Answer that. No one else is doing that right now in boxing. The only other guy that comes close to doing that is Inoue. And if Inoue has longevity and he keeps doing it, that guy will be number 1 pound for pound if he keeps doing that. And that guy will be a huge star because he's murking mofos. But no one else is taking the risk that Canelo's is taking. So he deserves to get a lot of props because all these other guys that everybody freaking lists, all these other guys aren't doing what Canelo's doing and aren't doing what Canelo has been doing. Canelo, yeah, he's had some gimme fights there. Not going to lie. It's true. He's had some gimme fights. But you're not seeing any of these other guys move up 2 weight classes. Then you guys start saying, oh, yeah, this guy's a weight bully. Blah. No one else is doing the things that he's doing. So you got to give respect to the Nello. Jazz follows it up again. Canelo would beat Charlo. Triple G beats Charlo's too, in my opinion. Charlo is a strong puncher with a great chin, but I think someone his own size and skill cause problems. It remains to be seen, man. I love the Charlos. They're great fighters. I have high regards to them. I think Jamel should be top 5 pound for pound. I don't know why people don't list him. He's basically cleaned out the 154-pound division. People don't give him his props, his respect. He knocked out the number 1 guy with a freaking punch to the gut. So you know, more respect should be given to Jamel, to be honest. Jamal, he's on his way. This is what I always tell people. Just keep winning, and they won't be able to deny you. So that's what Charlo needs to do. Just keep winning, and they won't be able to deny you. You'll get these fights, and you'll win if you're putting in the work. So let's see what happens. They're tough fights, man. They're tough fights. They're really tough fights. He would probably be favored over Triple. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how the odds makers are. He might be favored over Triple G just because he's the stronger, younger guy. And a lot of people perceive Triple G to be a little bit on his downside now as well. But we'll see what happens. I had another super chat here and I lost it. So please send that super chat back over again, bro. And I'll go ahead and answer that question. Let's go ahead and get to 200 likes here, guys. 200 likes. Everybody press the like button now. Please help me out, dog. Zan Colder, Jamal is a monster. He is. Lions only. I love that phrase. Lions only. I love that. That's such a smart phrase for them. Come on, you guys. There we go. 200 likes. Perfect. And if you guys, Henry. Okay. All right. Good stuff, Henry. And if you guys haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Please help us get to 1 million subs. And also social media. Help us keep growing over there, guys. Follow us at Fight Up TV and at Hey, it's Marcos V for me personal. Let's see here. Marcos, another Marcos. What's up? All these casual man shit is funny. It's mostly these. I'm not going to say that, bro. I'm already going to stop. There's no need for that here. Let's see here. Henry, your thoughts on Showtime's Hector Macho Camacho documentary. It was great, man. It was heartbreaking to see because I saw a lot of his mom and my mom, how my mom is with me. So I felt very, very terrible for his mom. That death haunts his mom still. And especially because they found the killer. They told him, Houston, Texas, Lions only, what up? They told the mom they had found the killer, but they haven't prosecuted him. They haven't detained him. They haven't done anything. So that to me is really really heartbreaking, man. Really, really heartbreaking. Let's get to more of your guys' questions. Undeniable that Canelo is a monster and he can beat anyone they put up against him. Not anybody. All right, Answar. Me and Answar going back and forth. I appreciate the banter, Answar. Let's see what he got. Charlo beat the crap out of Sergey Derevyanchenko, but Sergey beat Triple Yi to some of these same fans. They refuse to connect the dots because Charlo is a black fighter. Lions in camp, Israr. Answar, I disagree with that. I don't like how race is thrown into boxing, to be honest. Like, why can't why can't fans support a fighter they just like because of the way they fight? You know, that's my whole take. Like, well, why does it matter what nationality they are or whatever? Like who you like. If you like Charlo because of how he is, because he beats the crap out of people, he has power, support him. If you're Asian, support him. If you're white, support him. If you're Mexican, if you like his swag, support him. I like Charlo. I'm a fan of Charlo. I love that guy. That guy, I like the way he fights. I like the stuff he says outside the ring. I think it's hilarious. It's entertaining. I love interviewing both brothers. I think they're good for boxing. They're like the Diaz brothers of boxing, to be honest. I like the Charlos a lot, man. I like them a lot, and I like the way they fight because the same intensity they bring outside the ring, they bring into the ring, and I freaking love that. We don't have fighters that are like that are going to get in the ring and just rip your freaking head off. There hasn't been fighters like that. You know, the last fighter that I could think of that was like super intense that you can maybe make the correlation to was Kovalev. When Kovalev was during his little rampage run of stuff. So Charlo beat the crap out of Derevyanchenko. He did. He was very, very dominant against Derevyanchenko. But Sergey beat Triple G. Okay, you can't do, you know, a little boxing math. Styles make fights, bro, okay? Just because one guy did well against another guy doesn't necessarily mean they're going to do well against the other guy because the other guy's a completely different fighter with a completely different style, okay, and different attributes as well. So, you know, you think you can do, you know, this phrase gets thrown a lot in MMA. They call it MMA math, you know. So you think, you know, oh, if so-and-so beat this guy, he's going to beat everything. That doesn't, no. It doesn't always work that way. Triple G beat Sergey. At the end of the day, he got an official result. He beat him. Yeah, you know, a lot of people felt that Derevyanchenko won. But look, Derevyanchenko was very familiar with Golovkin. He was raised up in that same system. He knew how to fight against that style. Okay, he's very, very familiar with that style. Same thing with Shane Mosley and Margarito. Margarito had fought Mexican fighters his whole entire like amateur career and his whole time here in Southern California. That's all he ever sparred against and trained against was Mexican fighters. Did Shane Mosley. That's why he wasn't afraid to take that Margarito fight. he felt comfortable in there because he was used to that style. So you can't. I know you want to connect the dots, and it seems like it's a logical, common sense thing to do. But I'm just telling you, sometimes it doesn't always work out like that because the guys are different. It's just different styles. And at the end of the day, they have different attributes as well. But thanks for the banter, bro. Thanks for the back and forth. Billy Joe Saunders on his day would give Canelo hell. It's a tough fight. Billy Joe Saunders, though, needs to be on point. He needs to be on point 100% in order to go ahead and beat Canelo. All right, let's see. Who beats Canelo at 168 or 160? Asked Natalie and Arturo. Who beats Canelo at 168 and 160? Charlo. I think Charlo can do very well, Jamal, against Canelo. I think that's a very winnable fight for Jamal Charlo. I like his chances in that fight. David Benavidez and Caleb Plant, I think, give Canelo a lot of problems as well. Same with Billy Joe Saunders. I think gives Canelo a lot of problems in there as well. So there's a lot of Bivol. I think if Bivol drops down to 168 pounds, that's a really tough fight for Canelo. But I think that is never going to happen because Bivol just doesn't have the name recognition. You know, like if people were ho-hum about this Callum Smith fight, they're going to be ho-hum about a Bivol fight. They're going to be like, who's Bivol? When's the last thing we've heard of Bivol? You know, people I don't think are going to get excited, get hyped for a Bivol fight. Rick is not a Dallas Cowboy fan. It's boxing. Why turn into race? Exactly, bro. Like who you want to like. Like because you like the guy. Like because what they do inside the ring, you know? I never understood that either, to be honest. Love you for yourself, Zamwar. Thank you, bro. Rick doesn't like Billy Joe. He says, Rick Timms says Billy Joe's trash and is nowhere in Canelo's league. Canelo versus Berlanga gots to happen. I think it will, but it might be one of those where it could be at like the tail end of Canelo's career, and that it's more of a like someone to have on his resume, you know. I think to build up Berlanga, to build up Berlanga's profile. There was more evidence of Tyson Fury cheating than when Margarita got caught. To hear, to see. I don't think so, bro. They found the actual hand wraps for Margarito, and they confiscated them, and they found like the substance in there, and they caught him while he was wrapping his gloves. Nazim Richardson, rest in peace, may God bless his soul, who passed away earlier this year. So I don't think so, bro. Look into the Margarito thing. They have the wraps. That's evidence right there. Like the blatant caught in the cookie jar. There you go, you know. So I would disagree about that. Benavidez is going to stop Berlanga. That's a great fight. Berlanga versus Lemieux. Oh, man. Berlanga versus Lemieux. Jesus. That is yeah, give me Berlanga versus Lemieux. People might say that's too early for Berlanga, but that's an explosive fight. Give me that fight. Berlanga. Could you imagine Berlanga versus Lemieux? That is, geez, man. Everybody, let's tweet everybody right now. Okay, everybody right now. Tweet both Lemieux and Berlanga. I want that fight. As soon as this live chat is over, I'm going to tweet that out. I will give me Berlanga versus Lemieux. That is a hell of a fight. Hell of a fight. 168 is popping right now. Very true. Berlanga versus Lemieux would be an explosion at 168. Berlanga versus Stevenson. Hope you're not referring to Adonis, because Adonis can't fight anymore. And I don't think you're referring to Shakur. So, okay. Who's next? Canelo Alvarez. 20 million isn't enough to fight Canelo. Spence versus Canelo is $100 million fight. You're right, bro. That's a huge fight. That is a huge fight. Only use YouTube. Okay. Ellie Caves, explosive things. Berlanga versus Bully. Beck. Yeah. Beck's going to fight Kovalev, man. Coming up. That's a good fight for Beck. I like Beck's chances in there. We're going to see what's left of Kovalev. This is his first fight since his knockout to Canelo Alvarez. So I think it's going to show us a lot because Beck's a young, hungry freaking guy, dude. He's this guy has boulders for fist, and he's a powerful dude. So we'll see what's left. It could end up being Kovalev's last fight. Always watch the Fight Hub videos. Didn't know it was your channel. Big fan. Saludos, Johnny Lust. What's up, bro? Hey, a few weeks back we had freaking Peter North on here. So hey, Peter North, where you at, bro? We miss you in the super chat. Come on back, dog. Come on here. Peter North, a big old freaking boxing fan. If you guys don't know who Peter North is, look him up, bro. That guy's a legend in the adult film industry. He's one of our chats a while ago. Marcos, that proves a point that Spence versus Canelo is bigger than Canelo versus Plant or David. It is. People call me crazy for even talking about the fight. Oh, dude, it's 92 AKU. What's up, man? I haven't seen you in a bit. But dude, it's a big fight, okay? Spence is a big guy at 147 pounds. If you look at Spence in person, he's pretty close to the natural size of Canelo. Canelo obviously is thicker. He's more solid, more stocky. But Spence cuts, in my opinion, I think he has to cut a good 20, 30 pounds to get to 147. So he's naturally walking like at 180, somewhere around there. Middleweight's cut from like 185, 190. So he's cutting a lot, Jarrett Hurd, I remember he told me once he cuts like 30 pounds to make 154. That's 184 pounds. These guys are big dudes, man. So that's why people would make it like if it's at 168, yeah, I don't really like the fight at 168. If it's at 160, I like the fight because they're pretty size-wise. They're relatively closer than maybe other fights that could be made with someone coming up. Everyone's like, what the heck, Peter North? The hell yeah. Peter North was on our live chat a few live chats ago. He's the man. He was on here. He said, what's up to everybody? Canelo versus whom? Next? Honestly, I would like next. Okay. I would love to see, well, Canelo said his goal is to unify at 168 pounds. That's going to be where he wants to campaign, and that's where he wants to stay for the foreseeable future. If you look at the title holders at 168, Canelo has two of the belts. He has the WBA and the WBC. IBF is Caleb Plant. WBO is Billy Joe Saunders. Because he's with DAZN right now, well, he's freelance. He can go whatever, but he has rapport with DAZN. He has a built-in relationship with DAZN. Good chance that the Billy Joe Saunders fight happens next, and he snatches up another belt. And then I think what they're going to do is they're going to have Caleb Plant probably fight Benavidez, and the winner of that fight is probably going to go into Canelo fight, and that'll be a huge fight. Hopefully Canelo's still a free agent because that makes that fight a lot easier, and that's a huge, huge fight. Canelo will only unify at 168 if he doesn't have to fight Charlo or Andrade. Well, Charlo is at 160. Andrade, at 168. I want to see that fight, but it's not like Andrade is fighting any competition any better, to be honest. He hasn't really fought anybody either, People always bring him up. It's like, bro, his resume, you just got to be honest. Like, who has Andrade fought? He hasn't fought anybody. That doesn't really help his cause either. He signed with Matchroom and Eddie Hearn to get the Canelo fight, and he hasn't been able to get it. That it's not his fault, obviously. The pressure and the criticism should be towards Eddie Hearn. Why can't you get this fight from Eddie? You do business with Canelo. Why can't you get him this fight? That's the whole point. He signed with you was to get this Canelo fight, and you haven't been able to get him. That's my thought about that. I was born ready, says Rigo. Canelo legacy tainted. Oh, man. Yeah. Well, it's always going to be, I think Did you see the Boo Boo interview with Ellie? He sounds so stupid. Ellie? Ellie sounds stupid? Not surprised. No, I'm kidding. No, I haven't seen that. I don't watch Ellie's interviews. Let's see here. Canelo put a beating on the #1 ranked fighter. Andre fought on Thursday, dog. He whack. Oh, Andre fought on a Thursday. Bro. He's not whack. Andre's good, dude. He's good. He's a really good fighter. All right, guys. Minute 10. A minute and 10, an hour and 10 minutes already into this live chat. I usually do this for an hour. I did it for a little bit longer. I got to go hit the gym, hit the weights, make those freaking New Year gains, bros. We will be having a live chat next week. So come on back next week. Hopefully I can get all you guys here. You know, I know like some, you know, after the fights, a lot more people tune in because there's a lot more to talk about. So please, everybody, join us next Monday at 5:35. Next Monday, 5:35. December. Well, what is next Monday? This is December what? Let's see here. December 28th, 5:35 p.m. Come on down, bros. Come on down to the live chat. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to get these gains. Everybody, one more like, please. One more like for the chat. Also, subscribe. Hit that subscribe button if this is the first time you're watching us or you're not subscribed to the channel yet. Please subscribe. Help us get to a million views. And also, as well, follow us on social media at Fight Hub TV and as well me at Hey, it's Marcos V. All right, you guys. Autumn Falls. Who's Autumn Falls? I don't know who that is. But if Brandy Loves wants to show up, or Lisa Ann, I love Lisa Ann. I called Lisa Ann Old Faithful, and you guys probably know why. I refer to Lisa Ann as Old Faithful. But catch you guys next week. All right, guys. Happy holidays. Be safe out there. Hope you guys don't get too stressed out with Christmas, man. Love you all, and we'll join you 7 days from now. Next Monday, 5:35, the next live chat. Take it easy, guys. I appreciate each one of you guys. Okay, have a great rest of your Monday. Peace out.